Okay, so now we're going to take a different approach this time to our the feathers of the wing. Not a whole lot different, but it'll be somewhat different. And I'm going to start by creating a polygon plane, and I don't want any divisions on it. Just one and one. We'll click create. Okay, and then we're going to move this into position over here. And basically we want to rotate this so that it points in the direction of the feather. And it may be easier to do that if we went ahead and attached a follicle to it with a curve. So we'll go to in hair, create hair, option box, and we're going to change our U count to 1 or V count to 1. We want it to be dynamic, and our length of 9 we figured out yesterday is good, and our 4 points per hair, that I think we might be able to get away with just 3. We'll make it even more stiff. We'll do 4. We'll click create hair. Okay, so I've got a hair on a single polygon face. And I'm just going to rotate this plane. So rather than adjusting normals like I did in my reference video, we're just going to rotate a piece of geometry around to make it point the direction we want it to point. Okay, and then we'll just put this in position of the sorry, my mind's going blank. Of where the quill of the feather, I guess that's what it's called anyway, the shaft of the feather is. Okay, so it'd probably be better if I worked in here. We'll rotate it into position. And bring it out. Okay, so now another nice part about this method is I could parent a feather to it, and then wherever I move this plane, my feather goes also. So that means it's always with the NURBS curve, the hair, which would be nice. Okay, so I'm going to position this so the tip is right on that plane. And then I need to adjust these rotations. And I need to rotate it, it looks like in X, 90 degrees, and then in Y, 90 degrees. Okay, so now it points straight down the same line that NURBS curve for the hair does. In fact, so much so that it's hard to see. There's a little blue line in here, buried in there. Okay, so now I can grab this plane and and continue to position it how I want it. Okay. Now that one is put into position. And so we want to do that once for each feather. And that might seem a little tedious, but we might. So from this point, we can grab this plane, which I should rename to, say, feather base. We just call it feather 1 base, feather tip. Yeah, underscore tip, underscore base. And that's on the left side, so we'll say L. There we go. I like that. Okay, so now we could duplicate this, and we'll put our next one into position. Okay, and I could end it up over here. So let me grab these two and group them so I can keep organized. And I'm going to scale this up in Y. Nope, in Z, sorry. Okay, grab the base and duplicate it. And then I'll go through and do that for each of these objects. Okay, then also what I need to do, let me go ahead and position this one. Okay. Okay. So also, these don't have a hair follicle in them, on them. So I need to grab this plane here, and I go to hair, create hair, options, and everything can stay the same, except I want to make sure that this place hair into is on this hair system shape 1, because that's the one that's controlling our first hair. So we don't need to create another set of that. Okay, so click apply, and now it too, oh, it put one on the feather also. That's kind of annoying. So, well, here's what we need to do. I'll just unparent that feather momentarily, click apply, and then I'll reparent the feather. Okay, so we could probably work on our sequence here a little bit and make this work a little better for us. So unparent it, click a new feather base, apply, reparent it. Okay, so now I'm just going to do 3 feathers for now. I need to add that a strip of geometry in between the wrist and the tip of the wrist so that I can tell these to aim at something. Okay, so we go to, again, we'll create a plane, polygonal plane, and this time we want 10 subdivisions along the width, I believe.